Okay, USB audio. Oh, yes. Great. Okay, thank you. Thank you, BB. I appreciate that. That is awesome that you can hear PJ. All right. So, now that I am 10 minutes into this or 12 minutes into this semi-silent um stream, going back over some of the things that I had covered. One, I have a lot going on in life. Two, my sleep has been sketchy at best. Three, I feel like the court of public opinion is finally focusing on less on how can I prevent the government from being in my business because apparently that's just going to happen. But we should be refocusing on how can I hold the people who are in my business accountable for how they use my business. And as such, instead of using um, access to AI and public domains of information, such as facial recognition and everything else, to uh, empower ICE from the perspective of identifying potential people to export, um, we use that as that level of technology to help to identify victims and return them to their families before when while we still can. And not only that, in identifying the victims and then pursuing justice from that perspective of having an identified victim, you can then identify conclusively people engaged in illicit behavior and illegal trafficking, and then execute justice more thoroughly. The same way I said that you would potentially reverse engineer the causes of cancer by identifying groups that are impacted and then correlating the similarities in environment, lifestyle, or even genetics to identify patterns that would contribute to a higher likelihood of cancer. Reverse. We know you got cancer, so people that fit into these categories like you might get cancer. Similarly, we know that we found actual victims of trafficking. So these were the people and the places that they were exposed to. And further investigating that, we've now found legitimate traffickers that we would then deal with. That seems a little bit more effective and efficient and less Gestapo than running up on Home Depots and fields of berry pickers. But that's me. I'm in the Midwest, and I'm not in national security, so I don't. I, it just seems like an inefficient use of resources. I mean, considering what we're saying that we want the ultimate outcome to be, it seems like we could be focusing in a different area, the technology, and come out with better percentages, higher percentages of positive outcomes. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if you can facial recognize, the trafficker, then why wouldn't you be able to facial recognize the missing children, the missing children and abducted women and men, and old people and everything before we're finding them in pieces in somebody's basement or backyard or out in the woods after however many years. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we could use it to make sure that things like rape kits are actually effectively and submitted, processed, and documented into a national database to where perpetrators could actually be um, captured sooner. Because as far as I know, technically there isn't any national, I mean, outside of the FBI, if you're committing a federal crime, you commit something and your local PD picks it up and stuff, it may not necessarily end up on a national radar where if you do something bad, 2 states over, they will be able to link the two. So, without adding a ridiculous amount of manpower into the processing that would then slow this thing down, it seems like that would be an efficient use of AI, and even having it as a redundant system that you have multiple primary systems that are still run by people, cross-checked and quality controlled by people, and then at the next level up, the national level, is where those similarities and redundancies are then cross-checked and identify patterns and potential people. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like I feel like accountability is a better way to address the inconsistencies between what we are told as a country is the intent of certain government authorities and the actual application of it that even non-government professionals with expertise would be able to validate or dismiss. That's all I'm saying. It's like, it's not. It's not sorcery of sorts. It's not really cloak and dagger. Most of the stuff that people claim is shadow government and everything else is actually just compartmentalized, mismanaged information. The right people didn't get told the right things at the right time because it was thought that it needed to be secret for a certain amount of time for whatever purposes, and we never grew past that. We never revisited those old records and books and stores or policies and procedures, and we've continued on into a point to where it is in direct conflict with us growing and advancing the effective use of our technology. That's what I feel. But that is also where I feel like I can contribute moving forward. One, I have diversified the baskets in which my eggs sit, but all of them, as far as I'm concerned, have the joint underlying theme of prioritizing safety in mission critical positions or mission critical applications, and still and focusing on being people centric technologies and advancements. I think that is the underlying goal that could potentially keep things such as artificial intelligence from being a bubble. If we stop considering AI as artificial intelligence and start embracing it in the full spectrum of what it can be, which is augmented intelligence, adaptive intelligence, um, authoritative intelligence, in which that's where we have actually vetted, what is it, multi something of experts, multitude of experts, maybe, I don't know, large language models and stuff, where we have specialized understandings that's been verified and validated that rolls up into a complex system for discernment. And I know that there's programs out there and stuff that are moving along with that. I missed the deadline to submit an abstract, and I had a really good one. But at the same time, I was doing something else to further myself in life and having some semblance of yet another career. And I don't necessarily feel like that was a bad trade off. So, but it is a portion of who I am and what I will be doing. And now I am back to refocus on, yeah, um, making my way through the world in a way that I don't feel wasted. I mean, whether that is from the perspective of personal sacrifice or in sharing a unique perspective and experience in a way that benefits more than me, even if it benefits others more than me. So, yep, still got some connections to make, still got some moving and shaking to do. And yeah, that's what I'm doing with it. Now I know what I need to do to actually have a microphone for a stream. And yeah, because I added audio and then I didn't actually plug in the audio I added. So there was that. I still have to figure out how I can. Hopefully, I will eventually not. Oh, sorry. Traveling sometimes it wreaks havoc on your sinuses. Hopefully, I will actually have a viewing audience one day. That might not be today. Well, if nobody else, I know that my daughter is watching me, so gotta love that. Um, but when I do, I will hopefully be technically aligned to where I can actually have uh, comments and stuff up and showing, and where I can see that and respond. And yeah, so there's that. So now, uh, I will stop the stream and see how that works. Until next time. And I'm sitting on a ball instead of a chair, and that's what that periodic sound is. Now that I actually have sound, it's not like me just randomly like blowing out my pants or anything and stuff, and moving right along. It is the ball rubbing up against my desk, and yeah. So there's that. Nice way to overshare to close it out. And take care until next time. And I'm still streaming, I think. No, I really don't know how this works.